Yeah, exactly, right? One thing though, and I don't think it's gonna be an issue, I forgot those mics, but there's no wind. I think we'll be okay as long as we talk loud. You want me to? Yeah. Okay guys, here we go. This is gonna be the Q&A video and a little bit of fun in the beginning. This is Jarod actually building his own wedding arbor before we film the Q&A, which you guys are gonna see in the backdrop, and hopefully the view makes up for the wind noise. We tried to fix it as much as we can, which is partly the reason why this video got delayed so much. And for the best viewing experience, I recommend turning on closed captions for the rest of this video. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Oh, great. That new XGT, you know that big giant rectangle he put right in the freaking way? That's what we're talking about right there. That was beautiful. Gotta go slow with it. Yeah. So yeah, how did you screw the other ones?
Kind of went this. Go down a little bit, because then I lifted it so the bevels would, yeah. Oh yeah. How are you on that short point?
Love it.
Sweet.
Dude.
So satisfying.
This is gonna be beautiful, Jarod.
I'm pretty excited about it. I'm just like, I love triangles. I don't know why.
Me too.
I love when mitered and beveled cuts fit together.
Right?
So if I can incorporate that into my wedding,
Why not?
why not? Exactly.
This is gonna be the intro to the Q&A, by the way.
Nice. Oh yeah.
It's almost like we're carpenters.
I know, we should totally do this as a job.
That's beautiful.
Alright,
Okay.
how tall should we have it?
I'm honestly thinking
Max? You just want to go max length? Yep, I think that looks awesome. And we can just level out the bottoms.
Yep.
Can't see them anymore, right?
No, that looks nice, dude.
Sweet.
Okay, now for the stands.
Yeah.
So how do you want to do this again?
We could literally just do like a flat thing here.
Yeah.
And it just comes back like this and just like a straight.
And then a little,
like that.
yeah, we could do that.
Be structural. It literally just needs to stay standing.
Exactly.
Then that wouldn't really be in from any angle. You know, that's like 20 and a half.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be whatever angle your bottom is, that would be your bevel.
20 degrees.
I love it. What stain are you gonna use? Like a reddish, like brown?
I'm not totally sure. Well, I have a feeling we're thinking of using that as the backdrop.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna actually grab a hoodie.
All right, guys. So we're here.
Yep, Stone Point Trail, freaking mansion of a house.
Yeah, it's huge. I just want to say another big thanks to him letting me come out here and frame with him and Landon and everyone else. It has been an amazing experience, and it's only day 4. We still have tomorrow, his bachelor party, and then the wedding on Monday. So a lot more fun to be had.
Oh yeah, big time. And don't forget to comment in the direction we're gonna move out here. Because that's what we've been trying to tell this whole time.
But yeah, so today we asked you guys a couple questions. I think the first day I was down here, so they've had some time to pile up, and we're going to be doing a framing Q&A. So we're just going to be reading off our phones, and we'll both try to answer the questions as best as we can for you guys. This one's from Aaron Videos. What carpentry project are you both most proud of working on? Pics included if you can, please.
There we go first.
Okay. The biggest house that I had the pleasure of framing back, I think it was last January. I'll throw some pictures up. But that was the biggest house that I ever framed. It was also the first house that had a 12-12 roof on it. It didn't have any hips on it at all, except for like one little bump out porch. But it was an awesome experience. It took the most time, and it also had a barrel roof on the front, which was cool to see being built. So yeah, that was kind of mine.
Yeah, all right. For me, probably the first project I was a lead on, which I tell everyone was kind of a crap fest. It was 2 5-plex buildings, face to face. It was a total of like 13 or 14,000 square feet, which isn't much when we're divided up by 10 units. But basically, our crew of like 8 guys, and then also a crew of subs of like 12 guys, so altogether like 20 guys. That I was the lead of. I was 18 at the time. So it was definitely trial by fire, but we got it done. Yeah, we'll try to stitch in some pictures like as we talk about this baby. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was working with all my best friends working on our crew at that time, so we just had an absolute ball. And, yeah, I mean, we got it done in the end, and they haven't fallen down yet, so that's good. But it was a huge learning experience, and it's really big. So I think it's actually proud just because it's just huge. So yeah, okay, let's see. From the top down. So this is from Giuseppe G. He says, "Hi, framer from Florida. What inspired / led you to framing? Personally, Adrian, framing beast, made this one video of banging up walls in the 2 months I was framing. So for me, my dad's a general contractor. I work for construction. My name's Jarod Kaufman, so you can make the connection there. So I've been around it my whole life. I started actually working on the payroll when I was like 14. I initially wanted to do blacksmithing, and then I went into welding. So I went to welding school, and then as I was going, on like half days to work with my dad, I just started getting into framing because I thought it was the coolest thing. I'd see framers with their tool bags on, nailing away or just doing whatever, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. They're like superheroes to me. Still do. I still geek out about it. So I just got really excited about it, and then learning stuff, watching YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff got me even more excited. And I don't know, I just really love it, and I've just kind of always been fascinated by it, and now that I'm understanding it, it's even more exciting because I get to actually do it. So that's my not so short answer.
Mine, I kind of talked about in one of my earlier videos, but I'll touch on it again. I worked in remodeling with my uncle while I was in high school, and the one sort of framing aspect that I ever had a chance to be a part of was setting trusses, and I got to see one of his buddies, carpenter, actually just hand banging the trusses up and fascia and everything like that. And I was always a big fan of making things out of wood, and I knew that I never knew like that's how houses were built like that. Like it's just nailing wood and cutting wood, and it was just like sick. I was just like awesome. Like that's what I wanted to do. I knew it from that point on, and just like him, I drowned myself in social media and YouTube even before I was ever on a job site. I'm sure he's been on a job site a lot longer than I have, but yeah, that's basically it. This one's from David Navarro. He asked, favorite part or phase of framing a house and why?
Yeah, we had a good conversation about this.
We did. All of it.
Yeah, we literally talked the other night. It's like you do one phase and you love it, and then even today, we're sheeting the floor today. By the time we're done with the trusses, we're like, oh, I can't wait to start sheeting the floor.
Yes.
Now we're almost done sheeting the floor. We're like, oh, I can't wait to start snapping lines and plating. Yeah, we're almost done with that. Like, I can't wait to start framing.
Yeah.
And it's just like a never-ending cycle of just like ADHD or ADD or whatever.
Yeah.
And just like, can't wait for the next part.
Because it's great. Because like being an electrician or a plumber, you do basically the same things every day. Like you plumb out a house or you wire up a whole house a lot quicker than building a house. Like there's not that many steps. There's not that many different techniques that us as framers use. And it's cool that each house is different and each house is a cycle, and you can just repeat, and every time you repeat, it feels new in a way.
Yep.
So that's our explanation.
It's great for a short attention span. Yeah. I think we've kind of both answered that. So this is also from boy Giuseppe. He says, also, I rock the Diamondback Artisans. I'd like to know your guys' honest opinion on them. He says, personally, I love them. He says, also, I bought the V-Line clip. LOL. So, my opinion on the Artisans, I'm just going to grab it right here. I have them. They work great. This pocket was way too tight, so I cut out the piece. I love them. They work great. Yeah, but I'm very excited for my Badgers to show up. I do prefer these to my Occidental Pro Framers, so for what that's worth. They're much lighter and more comfortable, but that still doesn't stop me from making them heavy because I just put a ton of extra crap on them.
I personally don't have the Artisans. All right, yeah, so I personally can't comment on that then. But thanks for getting the V-Line clamp. I'm giving that guy a lot of sales, apparently. I don't know, I get a ton of comments on it. Okay, this one's from Nick. Tough last name.
Ucherik?
Nick Ucherik. We'll go with that. Recommendations on framing hammer, tool belt, and builders he has learned from or is inspired by. Okay, so that's kind of like a three-parter. Framing hammer. Personally, I like wood handled ones, but honestly, I like any framing hammer. Like today, me and Landon were just switching out. Like actually, all the days.
Yeah.
He gave me a rigging axe one day. Like it's just, I like all of them. That's my honest opinion there. I think you can do what needs to be done with any hammer. It just depends on your preference. Tool belt, Diamondback, and Occidental are the only ones that I've tried. Again, that's up to your price point and what you, I don't know, I guess,
research. Yeah, like you can make money with any tool belt. I remember the first time I started watching Framing Beast, he's in like a $20 tool apron, and he's like outworking anyone I've ever seen in my life. So like, what tool bags you're wearing doesn't necessarily impact how productive you are. To me, it's more of just a comfort preference kind of thing. I like that I don't have to have as much weight that's just the bags themselves, so that's why I like my lighter bags. But some people like the durability of an all leather Occidental set that'll literally last them 25 years. Like, there's so many pros and cons. I feel like it just goes, I mean, so many ways.
Yeah. All right. And then the third part of that question is the builders he has learned from or is inspired by. And he could be talking about real world experience or social media builders.
I think it applies to both. Yeah.
Yeah. Real world, not many. I mean, I would say my boss, Eric, I'm very inspired by the things that he does and how he started his company. But social media wise, I'm going to say RR Buildings, yes.
Great. That was all 3 questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hammers. I like titanium hammers. I like the lighter hammers. I can hit harder and put nails in faster with a heavier hammer, but I like carrying less weight in my tool bags again. It's kind of a plus of the titanium hammers. Tool bags, yeah, I kind of talked about that. Carpenters that inspired me, but I don't know, something like that. Obviously, IRL, my dad. I love hearing stories of when he was framing, when he was my age. He started Kaufman Construction when he was 18. I just love hearing the stories of him, framing and him and one guy beating out the 4-man crew across the street, building the same house. I love hearing all those stories. It's so awesome. So that's probably my number one. And I've always, anytime I met a carpenter, it was always, inspired by some point. Social media, big ones would be, Tim Uller, awesome framers, especially recently, because I realized that if I bugged him enough on Instagram, he'd actually answer some of my questions. So I've actually learned a lot from him directly, which has been phenomenal. Larry Hahn was a big one. That was kind of the first big one. Sorry, you probably forgot about that.
Yeah, I did. Oh, no.
But,
Larry.
yeah, so that was a big one, kind of got me excited about production, but good production, not saying production framing is as sort of like a bad, dirty word or anything. Yeah, Central Craftsman is awesome. Matt Pinella, Matt Bingswood, same guy. Those are pretty much the only ones. Oh, Crazy Framer.
Oh, yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love that guy.
when are you going to come back?
Exactly. Thought you were dead. Here videos again. But I see your comments. In your opinion, what are the most important skills a carpenter may need? I would say reliability, showing up every day. Not having to, if you're not showing up first thing in the morning, people are like, sometimes it happens, but you don't want to be the kind of person that if you're not there first thing, they just assume you're not going to come at all, You want to be someone that they can depend on every day. Someone that's not afraid to take initiative. That's, can be a dangerous thing, but you just have to be smart with it, If you do that, those things, the rest will always fall into place. You can suck at cutting, but if you have a willingness and an ability to learn, you can suck at cutting for it.
Yeah, exactly. Basically what he said, but dedication and passion. The 2 things I think will really boost you far in this trade. If you are passionate and you show it, like he's saying, it's going to show the little things on the job site, the specific skills that you need. It'll all come once you start doing it. Yeah, absolutely. This one is some dude commented. Yeah. I don't know if this is where we ask questions, but I'm getting to that point in my life where I have to start deciding what I want to do career-wise. I've been thinking about getting into carpentry. With that in mind, I was wondering if it is hard to become and be a carpenter. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you off a little bit and combine this with my other question. Cowboy asked, should one go to trade school for carpentry and then jump into framing, or is it better to just go straight into the field? So we're just gonna cut the list.
Okay, right. Not at all. Yeah. Just go out and do it. Basically, I was so scared when I was young because I didn't know how to go about it. I was told trade schools are the way to go, but then again, I was never given that much information about it. So I just went out and did it, and still, I didn't know what I was getting into, but give it a couple months and then your brain starts to figure out how everything works and how easy actually everything is, and how everything becomes. So yeah, but about trade schools, I don't know much about them.
I have attended a trade school for carpentry. I went to a trade school for welding back in the day, but all I can say is I started working in the field at 14, and I was running big jobs by the time I was 18. And I've seen other guys that have gone to trade school and then at 18 years old, they're working your jobs out. So I think it depends. I think it takes a really special and really specific kind of teacher, But to me, it also just comes down to the practicality of it. If you go straight into the field, you're making money. If you're going to school, you're spending money. And the thing is, you don't have to worry about transferring your school knowledge to the field if your knowledge came from the field in the first place. Because sometimes, the way a teacher teaches might quite line up with how the field actually does it. I just think, if you can do it, go straight for the field. But if you're young and in high school, maybe you legally can't drop back to home, then go to school, go to a place where it's a learning environment where you're able to. And that will at least give you a head start by the time you are able to do that.
That actually, that question too reminds me of Logan, who just started with us, actually with high school here. He's still in high school, but he takes a construction course. And it showed on the job site, I think, because he suggested some things today when I was sheeting with him. I was like, that's great that he has sort of the right idea from building his tiny house that he was talking about in the class, which is like super cool.
Exactly. So that's the kind of thing where he's still in high school. He's not even graduated yet. So while he has to go to school anyways, he's going to a construction program. And that is putting him ahead. We have guys who've been graduated for a couple years and have technically worked with us longer, but he's doing better because he has that knowledge already. So that's good. This is from me. The question is, what is the most efficient way of cutting sleds? So I think we have a video of this maybe. I for sure have an Instagram post of it. I'll see if maybe we can link it in the description or something. Basically, I think unless you have a big saw that can cut through literally like a full 5.5 inches or something, I think it comes down to the efficiency of marking it. Because if your saw only has a capacity to cut 2.5 inches, like most of your handle saws do, then you can only cut through 1.5 inch thing at once. But if you have power saws on the edge, once by snapping the line, then the efficiency comes from actually marking it all at once rather than cutting. And same thing, you can do different ways to make squaring them easier. The video in particular that I'm planning on linking applies to both angled and square studs. It doesn't apply to beveled studs, but I do those differently anyways, so I think it's beneficial.
This one's from Lucas Kane. Said, I was wondering if you prefer your Occidental bags to your Diamondback. And I've recently just got the Occidental bags at JLC Live. And I can say, without a doubt, they are definitely comfortable tool-wise. Like, there's a lot more space. So, yeah, that's one big benefit. Comfortability.
Yeah, you got that.
Yeah, okay.
Good job.
They seem the same to me. And I brought my Diamondbacks on this trip solely because they're just like the ones that I'm used to. But I would really say that they really do stand out as equal.
I definitely prefer my Diamondbacks. I have the all-leather Occidentals though, and they just have never been. They were comfortable. I like those better than the Husky bags I had before that. And same thing as far as the actual practicality of front bags. I think they might be a little bit better, but they're just heavier and not as comfortable. So I ended up choosing comfort. This is technically not a question. My buddy Carnegie. What's up, dude? Glad your foot's all healed. He said perhaps a collab. Anyways, to the actual next question. Buddy, he watches both of our channels. Kick Your Face and Laugh says, "What do you do outside of work? Be honest." Well, a big one is edit YouTube videos. Yep, that's a big one. I've got a handful of hobbies. I've got a fiance that I'll be marrying shortly. My hobbies includes tattoos. I did all my tattoos. Did a bunch on my legs. Did a couple for Derek.
Gave me that cool skill set.
So that's my hobbies. I mean, that's really it. You know, I don't have like a specific itinerary. What I do other than working this.
Yeah. For me, another big thing is to edit YouTube videos. It's become one of the big things. It takes a lot of time to make the videos that are in my head, I guess. So yeah, that's a big thing that I still have to work on too, is getting better at it. But yeah, I do a lot of woodworking, and I want to post more videos about that. I know they won't get as much views just because a lot of my subscribers just see framing, but that's about it. Other than that, I sleep. That's why.
He's barely slept. That's true.
Yeah. Gotta edit. This one was great because me and him were talking about the same guy 2 days before this question was asked, which was like, whoa. This one's from Grazing Bull. Said, my question is, can we agree that Stalin, I'm assuming it's Lopez, I'm pretty sure it's Lopez. The construction dude on TikTok is the greatest framer on social media. In my opinion, yes, because we do a lot of hand cut roofs. That guy, his work is outstanding and it's gorgeous. And every time I see him on TikTok, I watch the whole video and I'm just amazed by how clean everything is and how much it looks like he gets done in a day and not losing any sort of quality at all. It just amazes me.
Yeah, it's phenomenal quality. I've seen some stuff that I'm like, you know what? I would never do it that way. Also, the way I do it has never looked that clean, so I can't argue with that. He's definitely, I would say, probably the cleanest framer I have ever seen. So.
Okay, all right. I got 3 more. This one's from Braulio? Oros? Yeah. Is there anywhere specific you would like to build and possibly live? And I think this one's pretty funny because I've barely left Indiana to Colorado. It's just being able to build with this guy, who I've known for probably almost 6 months now. It's just been insane, and I think this is the answer to that question.
I love home. That's why I live here. So I want to stay here.
This one's from Launch Jupiter. How often do you run into female carpenters? Personally, 0 until I came here and met his sister Laura, and she works on the job site sometimes. Here, I'll let you explain it. Yeah, sure.
So yeah, Laura's my younger sister. I have 5 sisters. She's my youngest. She's my only younger sister. All the other ones are older. Yeah, she's been working with us for quite a while now. She also works in the office for the company, so it's kind of like here and there. She does actually more days in the field. But yeah, I mean, she frames with me. Landon cuts for the both of us, and we both frame. So she is also the only female carpenter I personally.
And then the last and final question is from Kick Your Face and Laugh. And, asked, do you guys work 2 jobs? Because 8 hours a day isn't enough hours.
Let's not be making enough.
I guess, yeah. Personally, I don't look at it as a job, and I think that I'll change maybe in the future when.
Okay, so my part got absolutely demolished by the wind. So to sum it up real quick, where I'm at right now, I don't see a reason to ever work 2 jobs and overwork myself. I'm just having fun, doing what I love.
But yeah, I don't work overtime really. I typically work like 8 hours or so. doesn't include lunch breaks or drive time or anything, so I'm usually still gone from my house like a minimum of 10 hours a day. Hopefully that answers the question.
We'll also see if this video is worthy, because the wind is kind of buggy. Thanks for watching. I hope this answered a lot of your guys' questions and was beneficial.
Well, we did it again.
All right.